getting into groups and we're creating neighborhoods, and then we're all going to be a town.
Oh, that's
and
great.
so we're all doing like crazy clients. So my client is an astronomer, and she is kind of a loner, likes to be by herself, and she has a secret. She is actually an alien. And
you created this?
Yes. So like I'm creating this, like I created her narrative. And
Cool.
so she's an alien, and then my neighbors are my friends Landon and Becca. And Becca's character is a clockmaker who is kind of going crazy because of all the ticking in their house. She said, remember, if you've ever watched the second Hunger Games, the girl, oh my God, what's her name? She's one of the super Wyrus. And she's like, it's in the second movie, and she comes out and she's like, tick-tock, tick-tock,
Oh, wow.
tick-tock.
Oh, wow.
And she's like kind of going crazy. And so she was like, think of that. And how our characters relate is she's the only one who knows I'm an alien, but I'm gaslighting her into thinking that I'm not an alien.
Uh-huh.
And that she's just going crazier.
That's Gene.
And it's kind of like feeding into her going crazy. And then my friend Landon is like a posh, mean art gallery owner. And his gallery / museum / workshop is encroaching on where I have like my house and where I do all of my stuff for astronomy, and like I have my telescope and I'm like doing my alien bullshit, you know what I mean? And so I get pissed at him, and then Becca, he doesn't like Becca's clocks and like her art that she's making, and yeah, so
that's cool.
It's a lot of fun, and so I'm doing a lot of stuff with that. So I've kind of created how I want that building to look.
So your partnership with two basically gives, like, it's a trio. So everyone is in a trio.
Yeah.
And then
it's groups of 3 and 4.
Okay.
And so we're creating like little neighborhoods.
Okay.
And then so our mid-review will be us 3 in our group. And then at the very end of the semester, we're all gonna come together and create a town.
Oh, that's great. Like Beetlejuice.
So like one of my friends in another group, he is what he's calling a naturalist. So he's doesn't wear clothes. He is swimming around in nature and lakes naked as hell. We have my other friend. He's calling himself kind of like a tree hugger.
All right.
He called himself the tree tickler. I was like, that sounds like you need to notify your neighbors that you're moving in.
Right before you jump into their swimming pool, definitely let them know.
And then we have another one who's a psychiatrist who's like running social experiments and like studying all of the crazy people in the town.
That's great.
Yeah, we have another one who's a fisherman who's afraid of water.
Oh, that's hilarious. What are you guys eating, gummies?
We have a fashion designer / club owner. We have a DJ.
Wow.
We have a snake breeder / charmer.
That's great.
We have like a bunch of crazy freaking...
That's a traveling carnival.
It's so much fun. And so the name of the studio is called, the reason why I took it, ready for this? I don't think you're ready.
I don't think I'm ready.
Exquisite Corpse Architecture.
Holy fuck.
Exquisite Corpse. And so like it's kind of the whole basis around it is that we're Frankensteining our projects together.
Oh my God, I love this shit. I'm going back to school.
It's so much fun.
That is so amazing.
It is so much fun.
And did you have any idea? Like
I had no idea what this was. All I knew is that it was
had the
about
word corpse and it's like taken.
Yes, I saw the word corpse and I knew it was about collaging and doing print transfers and using acetone and gel medium to transfer printed images onto other pieces of paper and collage them. Yeah.
So good.
And I was like, corpse, collaging, acetone.
Acid.
Mushrooms. Yeah, I saw acid print transfer, corpse. And I said, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm taking...
And then for the first day of class, I love the teacher as well. She's probably one of my favorite professors I've had.
That's great.
Or teachers I've had.
Yep.
I don't know if she's a professor because she doesn't
She wear a cloak or a cape.
No, she is not McGonagall or Snape. But she is amazing, and she is uber talented when it comes to this type of stuff that she's teaching us.
So cool.
Like the collaging and the print transfers, like that is her thing.
So cool.
And Yeah. So, and the first day of class, she sent out an email and she was like, make sure to bring scissors and glue. And I was like, I'm going back to kindergarten.
That's so good. That's so good. Well,
like,
that's awesome.
I am a senior in college and you're telling me to bring scissors and glue sticks.
That's brilliant. I love that. I love that. That's
Do they
so
have
cool.
to be safety scissors?
Safety scissors and glue sticks. Whatever you do, don't bring liquid nitrogen.
No.
But
the crazy thing is I don't know why she told us to bring scissors.
You
Or
haven't used them
architecture.
yet. Right? You
What?
haven't used them yet.
No, we have.
Oh, okay. All right.
But we have X-Acto blades. And, like, we use X-Acto blades to, like, carve and cut models and build models. Why would we need scissors? Just...
Because you wouldn't use an X-Acto blade on a corpse. You would use
You know
scissors
what?
and glue.
You're so right.
Scissors and glue.
Right. What is it?
Scissors and
Scalpel.
glue.
I would use a scalpel.
That's an X-Acto blade, right?
Pretty
Kind of.
much.
It's just safer.
An X-Acto blade is a non-surgical grade
True.
scalpel.
True.
It's like, it's pretty... I have cuts all over my hands from the X-Acto blades.
Yeah, we went over that. No fingerprints. She was cutting her fingerprints off last week. Pretty crazy.
I chemically burned my fingerprints off because of super gluing them together.
As a hobby.
All architecture students can relate that they have had their fingers glued together. Well, it's hard because you're trying to glue these really tiny pieces together, and I didn't have my tweezers on me.
Unfortunately, they were next to your glue sticks and your safety scissors.
Yeah, unfortunately, I left them next to the safety scissors. It's just tiny, and you gotta hold it together, and then your fingers get glued to the things that you're trying to glue together, and then when you peel it off, all of your skin comes off with the glue. It's a
cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle. Yeah, I remember the first time Lotus played with crazy glue and her fingers got stuck together, and the look on her face was like...
And it gets hot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean...
It's a chemical reaction.
Yeah, and she was frightened. And then I was like, don't worry, we got it unstuck. And then she had these, like, 3D, like, fingerprints. And then she was flipping out even more over that. But that reminds me, when she was little, she was always wearing costumes. And she had this really cool... I don't even know if it was the pajamas, but it was, like, the hoodie... the arms with the gloves that could be folded inside out so your hands could be exposed, but it had the feet in them, like PJs with the hood and the feet in them, and it was a unicorn. And she was cutting something with a knife, and I went downstairs, and she was covered in blood, like covered in blood. She had used a knife to like cut some cardboard, slipped, cut her palm, and then couldn't get it to stop. So she wasn't screaming. She didn't scream my name. She basically was like flipping the fuck out when I reacted. So she, it was a slight cut. I think oh God, I've done something wrong. I don't want them to find out. So she ran it underwater. And then when I was like, because it was everywhere. Had to throw the costume away.
No.
But it was my reaction that ultimately, she was like,
her.
oh no, what did I do?
And at first she was just like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, because you cut yourself and it's like, ooh, then you see how deep it is. You're like, ooh, and then you see blood and you're like, ooh. And then you see more
now
blood.
I'm going to start flipping out.
And I'm going to start flipping out. And I don't have the best reaction. My reaction's so quick. So she would run through the kitchen at such a speed that I had just mopped, and she would slip, hit her head, and it would be the noise that would just wake the neighbors up. And I would react instantly. I was never like, oh, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I overreacted. And that has been a flaw of mine for a very long time. What are you watching? Have you seen anything?
I haven't really been watching anything new recently.
You've been on this cult thing for the past couple weeks.
Yeah, listen, I am obsessed with cults.
So cool.
I don't know why.
It's so cool.
So many books on them.
Mm-hmm.
I get really into it. Well, I guess I have something kind of new. I kind of revisited a topic I haven't really looked into in a while, and it's a company called Theranos.
Say again?
Theranos?
Yes.
Have you heard about that?
I've heard about this.
The one where it was in Silicon Valley, and she basically said that she created this machine that could use like a finger prick worth of blood to run like 200 different blood tests. And it was all fucking fake.
Fake. It was fake.
And she basically bullshitted all of these investors out of millions of dollars, was giving patients fake or false results, or just results of tests that like weren't actually accurate, like very inaccurate results, and like people were coming out and like, I feel so bad, like I shouldn't be doing this is so wrong, like these people are now going to the hospital to try to figure out what's going on with them because these tests are coming back, whatever.
Yeah, and she was really pretty, right? She was a genius,
like,
and
but she
really
also,
pretty.
So like they also did a show based off of this.
I think, yes.
And I don't remember who played her, but she did a fantastic job.
Dark side of Silicon Valley. It was definitely the dark side.
And it showed how she was 19 and she wanted to be the next Steve Jobs. And that's who she wanted to be. Basically, this older guy who was in college as well basically manipulated her and got her to start doing all of this stuff and convinced her to create this company. And they started.
I didn't know there was someone else.
And she was like romantically involved with him, but behind the scenes, nobody really knew. Yeah, she just became a compulsive liar and just kept lying and lying and lying and lying. And she also started like deepening her voice when she talked all the time. So like she would talk like this normally and like when she was in college, but as soon as she started like gaining traction with the company, she like talked like this.
Oh goodness.
And she was like
she was a little more.
So yeah, like this is how we do this. Like our tests run blah blah blah.
Oh, that's weird.
And yeah, it was like there's a lot of
that's so weird.
Mental things that I don't. Yeah.
She's going to prison for a very long time.
Well, yeah.
I believe.
The documentary I watched was called The Inventor. The actual show was so good.
I can't remember who. Super famous, right?
Yeah. Let me look it up.
Well, while you do that, we got our second gift.
Yes, I want to see it.
Super cool.
Oh! I found it. Sorry. It's on Hulu or Disney Plus. It's called The Dropout. It was made in 2022. The actor is Amanda Seyfried.
Yes, Seyfried.
Seyfried.
From.
She was in Mean Girls. She was the dumb one who could tell like when it was raining by grabbing her boobs. She was like, it was like raining outside in Mean Girls, and she was like grabbing her boobs, and she was like, "There's like a 30% chance it's already raining."
I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen Mean Girls? Mm-mm. Anyways, she was also in Mamma Mia.
She was also in Big Love.
But yeah, I know her from Mean Girls as I think her name was Karen.
The screenwrite.
My God.
We got our second gift. It is the Witch screenwrite. And my tattoo guy said he didn't send the last one. Open it.
You want me to open it?
Yeah, I want you to open it. We'll put this on our Instagram. Want to hear something crazy?
Yes.
We have 400 students at Texas A&M that listen to the show.
That's crazy.
That's wild. So the stats that I get are downloads, and you don't have to download the episode to listen. Mm-mm. So I don't have the actual stats. They finally have Spotify for podcasters, because I have Spotify for artists for my music that's on Spotify, and it details everything down to the nitty-gritty. But this, it's like 55% of listeners of the last episode were College Station, Texas. So if you're in College Station, Texas, which go Aggies, thank you guys for listening. It's really amazing. And I met someone.
Do you know if there's any that go to my school?
There's a lot of Charlotte. Charlotte's the second, but it doesn't say Charlotte.
Like university area. It doesn't say the
university area. I asked someone that was wearing an A&M shirt, and I was like, hey, I have this podcast. My friend of mine and I have this podcast, and where is College Station, Texas? And she's like, ooh, that's where I go. I go to Texas A&M. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's like a big school. Being a Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan, we whooped their ass.
Hey, don't offend our fans.
But yeah, there's like
don't
over 400.
There's like
over 400. That worked. Well, that worked.
Well, there goes my coaster.
There goes the coaster. So yes, I have this really incredible screenplay in front of me by A24. It is The Witch, written and directed by Robert Eggers. It is gorgeous.
absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. So through the book,
do you like pumpkin? Random question.
I like pumpkin.
Do you want? I think these are pumpkin flavored donuts. Do you want these last two?
I would love to, but I just ate that Oreo brownie from a People's Market. This episode is brought to you by the People's Market. Schling, schling. So yeah, I'll read a little bit from the screenwrite.
Do it.
So, to the reader, this is a tale of witchcraft told as a simple family of the 17th century New England might have believed it to be. All of their folklore and religious beliefs in this film are true. It was inspired by various folk tales, fairy tales, and recorded accounts from journals, diaries, court records, etc. of historical witches and possessions from New England and Western Europe before the Salem outbreak in 1692. Much of the dialogue, which is wild, in fact, comes directly from those sources. It is essential that all aspects of the film be carried out with the utter naturalism. The characters must appear as real farmers, not actors with dirty faces. Even the supernatural elements must be photographed as realistically as possible. Yet, with all the authenticity and realism, it is still a folktale, a dream, a nightmare from the past. That is why I love this flippin'. I mean, look at this. This is so cool. It's literally the screenwrite with the overlapping with the interior. Oh, I love it so much. And the
He's
pages
geeking.
are flipping thick.
He's geeking out about it.
I love this so much. Thank you, whoever sent it. And if it's from A&M, I'm an Aggie. If it's someone from A&M, I'm an Aggie. Just saying. So
I think he's lying.
Just saying. Well, yeah, I think it's time to dive into the world of horror.
Do it.
I have a ton of stuff laid out. So this week, a film by the name of The Shade released, and it wildly only released in AMC theaters. I'm a Regal Club Crown member, and it didn't release in Regal. So a lot of the times, it's not a Shudder official, it's not an AMC official, but it's only playing an AMC. But it's basically following the loss of his father, a grieving 20-year-old struggles to hold his family together as an unspeakable darkness plagues his older brother. So in the trailer, you just see this vicious being, the shadowy figure, kind of taunting this kid. It's got great reviews. And as far as the two brothers must fight to break the destructive cycle threatening their family as ancient darkness closes in on them. So yeah, it's a equivalent to the vehicle of power that gets stuck in the mud, someone says. Cut that out. I thought I was reading something else. Silent Hill is just a few weeks away. This game changed my gameplay, my lifestyle in gaming. I love Silent Hill. It comes out on the 8th and pre-ordered. I get it 48 hours earlier, so that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Heretic, the film by A24, has been moved back 2 weeks. I don't know why. I can't find anything online about why it's been moved back, but this is the Hugh Grant film that is about the two girls who are teaching the word of Jesus to a particular neighborhood. Two young missionaries become ensnared in a deadly game of cat and mouse when they knock on the wrong door of the diabolical Mr. Reed.
Oop.
Trapped in his home, they must turn to their faith if they want to make it out alive. Directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, the film is to release on November 8th, 2024. Have you seen the trailer for this?
I have not. I don't know if I have.
Goodness. Well, I love Yellow Jackets. Have you seen Yellow Jackets?
No.
Wow. Show came out 2020, I believe.
Okay.
Yellow Jackets is basically these girls. I graduated in 1994. So this is 1995. The hair, the music, the
All
clothing,
90s.
all the clicks, all the ins and outs. You basically have a group of New York, New Jersey, a girls' soccer team. They just won states, and they're going to go to California to play in the national championship. Again, all of the girls are all different walks of life. Like, they're all different. The pretty girl, like cheerleader, the kind of goth girl, the girl that smokes, the girl that didn't shampoo her hair.
Yeah.
The girl that listens to the 80s music, or the girl that is, destined to be president of the United States one day. And then you've got my favorite, the creepy girl. The creepy girl. And guess what she does?
What's she do?
She's the equipment manager.
Oh, of course she is.
She's so good. So she is...
The creepy one's always something so obscure.
I mean, she's so good. And so then they're flying to California, and their plane goes down. So now they have to play off this alive, if you know that. The rugby team in the 80s, that their plane went down, and they had to basically survive on eating each other. Oh. So the plane goes down, half the crew's dead, and they're lost. They're lost. So they have to survive. And just in the first episode, it jumps from 1995 to 2020. So some survive. So it's them as adults. And all I'm going to say is it knocked my flipping socks off. You got the first season, and then you got the second season.
Where can I watch?
Showtime.
Okay.
Or Paramount. Paramount owns Showtime now.
Okay.
It is so good. It is so good. It's so good. And all I'll say is Sophie Thatcher, who plays in Heretic, that's why I brought this up. She's one of the main girls in Heretic. Her character is the girl that I would have dated in high school. She's adorable, and she's just got this pros and this presence about her that's the girl I would have dated. That's the girl I would have wanted to date in high school. Let me not jump the gun. Jump the shark. But she turns into Juliette Lewis.
Okay.
Which I always had a crush on her growing up, and her character is batshit crazy.
Oh, perfect.
So the girl that I would have buddied up with, and we would have been like best friends, skateboarding and smoking cigarettes behind church, barbecues.
Behind church barbecues?
Church crematoriums. That female's name is Sammy Henretti.
There we go.
Sammy Henretti. She portrays Misty. And guess who Misty becomes?
Who does Misty become?
Christina Ricci.
Ooh.
Yes. So Christina Ricci was in... And she has the same mannerisms as Misty does as a younger Misty. But the show is great, so I don't need to talk about Yellow Jackets. But
We're going off on a tangent.
And it's good. But the cast is, I want to call them the Bratty Pack, because the female cast of all of the youth in Yellow Jackets, they're like the next big stars.
Yeah.
They're the next big star. Ella Purnell is in the show Fallout.
Okay.
Sophia Thatcher, she's in everything. She was in the Star Wars series, Solo. They're everywhere. But Heretic, Hugh Grant, who's one of my least favorite actors because he's not a very nice person. I didn't
know that he wasn't a nice person.
He's not a nice person.
I don't know a lot about him.
Yeah, not a nice person. I remember he was at some award show for Wonka. No, before Wonka came out, he was at an award show. And the lady was like, "Are you excited about the movie?" He's like, "I was only in it for 2 minutes." They're like, "Well, are you excited about, your fellow nominees, your fellow actors being nominated?" "Oh, get on with it, lady." It was like, and then she said something else, and he just looked her up and down and just scuffed. And I was like, you know what? You're not nice. You're not nice.
Yeah,
have you seen Elizabeth Hurley?
Elizabeth Hurley.
His ex-wife? She is smoking hot. Beautiful, I should say.
And hopefully doing way better without him.
Oh, definitely. But then
he sounds like a dick.
Oh, yeah, it's great. So I'm going to save the best for last. So we went to Scarowinds. Scarowinds was so cool. So Scarowinds is...
Spooky.
Scarowinds is the fall party that happens during the September months and October months, the fall months in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Fort Mill, South Carolina. The theme park is cut in two.
Go get spooked.
It's really cool because they have haunted areas, they have haunted zones, and they have haunted houses. So they have a full-on band that plays all the new spooky.
And then they got the roller coasters.
And then they have the roller coasters. And I've always said the spookier people are the ones in line.
Why?
Why, you ask? Thank you for asking. Well, one time I was watching the Yankees playoff game on my big-ass phone, and my Fold 5 was exposed, and someone said, "Hey, Daddy, look at that phone. Could you imagine watching the race?" on that big ass phone. And I turned around.
You do have a flat screen TV.
It
for
is
a
basically.
phone.
And I turned around and I giggled because it was like, you know, what you're going to watch the race on this phone? Is that what you're? Well, I'm watching the baseball game, so never mind. And I turn around and I was like,
which one's more American, baseball or NASCAR?
What's more Southern? What's more Carowinds? So I turn around and I don't mean to be ugly because everyone is someone's mother. Everyone is someone's daughter.
Everyone is someone's child.
Everyone is someone's child. Not everyone is someone's mother. Everyone is someone's child.
That's not biologically possible.
That is, well, I mean, it can be nowadays.
It can be. But
God, am I Southern? Well, now you can chop off your umbilical cord.
Umbilical cord? I'm going to cut my own umbilical cord off.
I turned around and without even thinking about something, he said, could you imagine watching a race, Daddy? And I turned around, it was like a family of 6, and they were all wearing the same outfit. And Daddy goes, whoa, that is a big phone. No teeth. No ears. What the fuck?
No ears? Oh, how he hearing?
And as I'm turning...
Hold on, how he hearing?
No, he can hear. He's got holes.
Oh, he got holes. He just ain't got no ears.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. It's
Sorry,
awful.
that's not funny.
I said, God. But as I'm turning, I'm saying, what? This is slow motion. Watch in the race. What about porn? And I didn't get it out because they all were wearing the same outfit. It was haunting. So then the whole time I'm like, face forward, don't stare. And then I'd peek back. Oh, the horror.
It's like the Shining
Like
twins.
The Shining. But I've been going to Scarowinds. I think this is the 25th year, 24th, 25th year. And it keeps getting better and better. So they have the Tooth Fairy.
I like the one year that they, or I don't know if they had them last year, but the guys that they have like on stilts.
Oh, yeah.
They're super fucking tall.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just like hover over you, and you're just like, I'm gonna die. It's literally like a giant crooked man.
It's a giant crooked man.
It's just like, go, boom, towering over you.
They didn't have, they don't, I haven't seen him this year. They've usually had 2. One's like skinny clown with a big head. The other one I think is just a monstrosity. But they've had things in the past that like I've never seen before. So they had Ryuk from Death Note. The guy would slide around on his knees. And then they had people that were like hiding in potted plant, like big, huge potted plants. And then all of a sudden somebody would go and like smoke beside the potted plant. And then the guy in the potted plant would be like Fern. And then he would stand up and you would see the horror in the people's eyes because they're just like not smoking in a smoking area, designated smoking area. And then the Fern stands up and or grabs its like pottery bowl and like walks towards the people. It's so good. It's so good.
I'm picturing like the cartoons when they hide behind the bush
Yeah.
and then they pick up the bush and run.
Yeah, that was cool. But the most wicked that I'd ever seen at Scarowinds was, I don't think I told you this story. There was a kid behind us. He was naysaying. It was the first day of Scarowinds. He was naysaying. We walked straight to the back of Scarowinds and we went through the clown maze. And the complete time we're standing in line waiting for the clowns to get situated because we were first in line, this kid and his sister who was on her phone was behind us, and she was a little older than him, and all he was saying was like, clowns aren't scary, this is dumb, this is dumb. And Ethan kept looking at me and he's like, do you want to wait and let these guys go before? I was like, no, we got here first, we're going first. And it's like, this clown's stupid, man, this clown's stupid. So a clown would come over and be like, you know, this, and you know, ooh, and then the kid would be like, I'll fight you.
I hate people like
And then it was like, why are you even here? It's the first day.
Like, dude, why are you going to a haunted house if you're just going to get pissed off?
He's frightened. That's what it is. He's just playing
scared.
a game. So then he says, oh yeah, clowns aren't scared. And they're like, all right, guys, you can go in. How many? 2? And I asked the guys like, hey, this kid behind us is already annoying. He's like stepping on my ankles. And he's like naysaying, can you please just count to 15 and let us go through? But so this guy's not like,
on my ass.
In my ass.
Yeah, literally inside my asshole.
Literally. In my jazz hole. And so we walked through kind of quick, but the maze had changed. So now the maze is actually mirror maze. So you run in the mirrors, and it's terrifying. So then you'll see a clown. There's like 15 of them, knowing there's only one, but he's hiding somewhere, and you can't.
And you don't know which one's real and which one's a reflection.
Strobes are going nuts. Strobes are going nuts.
Oh.
And then there's like lasers on the floor. So you're going to have, if you have a little bit of a condition, you're going to have a condition. You're going to need a conditioning treatment.
This is not for people who are prone to seizures due from flashing lights.
Flashing lights and or no ear holes.
Oh.
So this kid catches up to us, and he's on my ankles, and he's talking
God.
shit to all these clowns. He's bumping into me. He's bumping into Ethan, and then we finally like, okay, so when you exit out, there's a Volkswagen Beetle.
Ted Bundy?
Ted Bundy's not scary.
Spotting?
I'm not his type. It's like a Volkswagen bug. Yes, you are. Take your hat off. Put your hair down the middle. The Volkswagen Beetle, the bug, right when you walk through, it like jumps out at you. It's just partial. So it just like it's on an apparatus that just like,
it's like the hood.
And then it honks. Yeah, it's the hood. It's the hood and like the windshield. And it just, and it scares you. And then a clown jumps down from a bungee and goes, boo.
Oh, I'd piss
and
myself.
Piss everywhere.
Oh,
everywhere.
I'd piss
everywhere,
myself.
everywhere. You smell urine before you even turn.
Scarowinds smells like urine.
Especially during the summer.
God,
the hot
yeah.
heat, hot concrete, and
butt
funnel
sweat. Butt sweat on all the roller coaster seats.
I'll have 2 butt sweats, please.
Listen,
I'm sorry, funnel cakes.
Listen, you don't want to go.
Sorry.
You don't want to go there in the summer because you go on the roller coaster and there's just like ass sweat.
Ass sweat. Oh, what about the one you lay down on? And it's like, I'll pass. And they're like, nope, go ahead. You got 3 seconds. And I'm like, I'm not laying in that puddle of mud.
And you can like see the outline of the person.
Well, they've got 2-piece bathing suit on, and it's only the upper part.
Yeah, so it's just like
2 seashells.
2 seashells
By the
and
seashore.
3
By the seashore.
Three
Girl ain't got no damn pants on. I'm not laying down in that
That girl
gush.
ain't got no pants on.
I'm not laying down in that mud.
She was selling okra. Have you seen that video?
No.
She was selling okra.
I don't know why that's so funny. It's so funny.
I need to look it up on TikTok now because me and my roommates say that all the time now.
Okra.
She was selling okra.
Goodness.
She was selling okra, please.
She was selling.
She was selling fried okra.
She was selling.
Oh, it's Brittany Broski.
Chicken at the damn gas station. He was selling okra. Yeah. They should have called it Kentucky Fried Okra. Kentucky Fried Green Tomatoes. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Goodness.
He was selling okra. Kentucky Fried Okra. Kentucky Fried Green Tomatoes. I love Brittany Broski.
Green tomatoes.
Brittany Broski is one of the funniest human
Is that
beings.
the girl that dances with knives?
Not that I know of.
Oops, I did it again. I'm playing with knives.
Oh.
Selling okra. We sell okra.
And that's why we started saying it. Because I bring home, like, the charred okra a lot. And so every time I bring it home...
Is that a euphemism? Is that a play on words? I'll bring all the boys to you when I bring my charred okra. Okra sticks. So meanwhile,
it's like instead of free candy, free okra.
free okra, free smoker.
God, I can't have a pedophile joke in there.
No, God, that's not a pedophile joke.
Yes, it is.
That's
The
a
free
funny
candy
joke.
van.
Free candy. You said you're selling okra out of a van.
I said instead of
That's
free candy, free okra.
I think this podcast is done.
And
we're going
cut.
straight to jail.
Cut.
We're going
Next.
straight to jellies. So we're in this clown situation. We're fucking walking around with Ted Bundy.
We're not even going to talk about the movie today.
And the kid goes up to the last clown and he says, "You're not fucking scary." And I was like, whoa. This kid's like 9.
Oh.
And he says it again. His sister's on her phone.
Lame.
And it really pissed off the actor. So he disappears. We walk outside, and the kid again's like, "That was busted. That was stupid. That wasn't even scary." And then you hear, this clown chases this kid, startles this kid. The kid zooms past us. The clown does not let up. He chases him all the way to the edge.
Good.
This kid loses his footing. He slides, I swear, 15 yards. 15 yards.
Not feet, yards.
On his knees and his forearms. When he got up, it looked like Freddy Krueger got a hold of him. Yes, I said Freddy Krueger. And he got up and there was blood everywhere. And he was like, ah, like screaming. And
I hope he
we
pissed
walked
himself.
by him and Ethan stepped over him and said, "Karma's a bitch." And I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, speaking of Karma's a bitch,
JoJo? With the boba?
that is not the world of horror. That is the
It's a
world,
different world
of
of horror.
horror. She's messed up. Her dance moves are stellar. That whole stomp sideways thing, like a daddy long leg. Daddy! Long leg!
I'm sorry,
I forgot my long legs.
I can't with her.
She's crazy. That's a whole different podcast. She's like, a Dreamcast for me podcast? You got a Dreamcast for me podcast? What would it be? It would definitely be one of my exes. More like one of your hexes, you witch.
A lot of my friends are like, the lesbians don't claim her. We don't want her.
claim you.
Can we trade her?
We don't claim you. She's like, I'm gonna make this thing called gay pop. All gays pop.
All gays pop.
Okay, they pop a lot.
You're-
All pop is gay.
Like, you are not the first gay pop icon. Sorry.
Are you an icon? You're an icon
You're not
for
even
your
an
shit
icon.
show.
But like you're
show.
not the first person to do K-pop. Sorry,
No,
wrong.
No. Read your manual, lady.
Sorry, wrong.
And them
Do your
dance moves,
research.
them dance moves, gar. So, lastly, I am a huge Batman fan. I love all DC villains.
Okay.
The Penguin is my favorite. He's always been my favorite.
Are you watching that?
It is so good. One episode, I would be satisfied if that's all I get.
Yeah.
The first episode.
So good.
The pilot just sealed. I've always loved Penguin. I've always loved Joker. I've always loved the DC villains because they're relevant. They don't have their powers are science, you know. So Danny DeVito's Penguin was adorable. And he could make things freeze, you know, or Dr. Freeze could make things freeze. And Penguin had his little entourage of penguins that had little jetpacks. But Colin Farrell's Penguin is so believable because he's just a gangster that is just a badass.
I will
he's
say,
a badass.
I was scrolling through whatever it's on. Max. And I think it was it looks like The Sopranos.
That's it.
The cover literally looks like The Sopranos. And I'm like, he looks like a gangster. He looks like a mob boss.
He's clever. He's clever. He has a vehicle. It is a Maserati. Oh, you can't even tell it's Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
but
his face is messed up.
So it shows, no spoiler alerts, but in the first episode, which this is on the saga of Robert Pattinson's Batman, who I love. The Batman. I love.
Danny
Ben Affleck, sorry. I'm not a negative guy. I'm not that guy to say awful things about awful things, but
he just wasn't
Ben Affleck was wearing a Batman costume. He was not Batman, sorry. But Robert Pattinson's had the feels. He had the depression. He had the dark. He has all the money.
How do
He's
we
beautiful.
feel about how do we feel about Lego Batman?
Did you see what's beside you at 3:00? That's about $2,000 worth of Lego. Do I like Lego Batman? Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Have you seen Lego Masters?
Yes.
The host, Will Arnett.
Yes.
He is Lego Batman.
Yes.
Yes.
I love him.
And I didn't mean to say I've got all the money, because I don't, but I love the Lego.
Love investing my money in Lego, so
I
don't
love
worry.
Lego. And if you get a chance on Max, watch The Penguin, because it is brilliant.
It looks
and
really
that is
good.
the world of horror. What's happening in the world of horror.
We talked about so many things in that little intro.
All right, there's Creepy Connie. Oh yeah, hey guys, this is Creepy Connie.
Oh, and this is King Jeremy, the Wicked.
And we are Revival. We are Revival, a horror podcast, bringing you everything and anything you want macabre. It's spooky season, and we are Diving into the Witch Part 2.
I like that you said macabre. I said that word to my roommate, best friend since 6th grade. And she was like, what's macabre? I was like, oh, girl, we are complete polar. So she's very, like, I don't want to say cottagecore, but, like, very, I don't know, hippy-dippy type,
right.
very spiritual, very, like, woo,
Fairy.
very, like,
Fairy.
cottagecore-esque type person. And then I'm over here, like, Ouija boards.
Ouija board. Macabre, spell it.
And
That's
I'm like,
corn on the macabre.
Cults, like horror movies. And she's like, I have to be extremely intoxicated to watch a horror movie. So
Wow.
then I just find it funny.
Oh, wow. That's what she said.
Yeah. So
That's
she
what
was, so like anytime I want to watch a horror movie with her, we have to be not sober.
No, that's super. I love that. I love that a lot. Yes.
So
Cottagecore.
she had no idea what the word macabre meant. And I had to
Well,
explain
I
it to her.
remember when I was first introduced to that word, Stephen King had a nonfiction book called Danse Macabre. And I never knew how to say it because we just had encyclopedias, not these little gizmos that you can say. Alexa, how do you say macabre?
Okay, but which language do you want me to translate to?
French.
Macabre in French is
Baja?
Baja Blast?
Fuck. Macabre blast. This shit will kill you. But Dance with the Devil.
Probably.
Dance macabre. So it's macabre. Macabre. Corn on the cabra. And now we're diving back into The Witch. This is Witch Part 2. I have to tell you,
The
this
Vvitch.
is the craziest thing. So, this is the craziest thing. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. Nope, I'm not going to get it.
He ain't getting it.
So,
Oh,
this is the wildest
why'd you
thing.
toot like that?
Because I have been eating my porridge. So not to
You
give
been eating
anything
your
away.
beans?
What?
Eating your beans.
Eating my weenies.
Beans are good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart.
The more you bark.
The more you fart.
The more you vart.
The more you
Vomit
verp.
a fart.
Verp.
Vomit fart.
Vart
Comes out solid. Comes out liquid.
comes out gas.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That was a good one. So we're spoiler free. So what we have to do is not talk about the movie. So we're not going to talk about the movie. But I wanted to. 2 pieces of this film make this one of my top 3.
Yeah.
3 individuals in this film make it my top 3. I didn't want to spoil anything prior to reading last week or the pod, but I wanted to get into this situation. So
Okay.
I can do that now because we're diving in deep. The Puritan's Nightmare. So Robert Eggers, the brilliant, brilliant mind, Robert Eggers, he spoke about the research and he said the shocking moments of filming this was the goat, the bath of baby's blood, and some other things I can't talk about right now because we haven't gotten there yet, but they said, why goats? Well, in England, goat farmers were really considered backwards. You didn't want to be a goat farmer. It wasn't cool. When settlers came over, they brought their goats
It
for
wasn't
them.
swag.
It's what?
It wasn't swag.
It wasn't swag. Wasn't swag. It wasn't Rizzy.
Rizzy?
It wasn't Rizzy. Wasn't Rizzable.
You couldn't riz someone up as a goat
You
farmer.
couldn't Riz, but you can do that Ohio thing. Lots of people with goats, because goats could clear the land very efficiently, were small to travel with, and it made sense for families to have goats. But goats are the idea related to Satan. It's familiar
Goats.
in that period of time.
Yeah.
And we're about to meet our goat. We're about to meet our goat. And then we'll talk about apples later.
Goats and apples.
Whew, goats and apples. Apples and goats. Earless goats. Hairless apples.
Toads and frogs.
Toads and frogs.
Like, why does he look like that?
Because he's a goober. Anybody that's got a 3-fingered hard part, they're like, hey, when you do my bald fade to like bald fade, I want a 3-fingered part. Like, why do you want your skull? Well, I guess I've got one too.
Look at that. I mean, you kind of do.
What the fuck? Seriously? I don't have that shit. I will fucking kill you.
I take it all back.
So we ended with a shirtless William. Wait, what? Can't a father spend godly time with his son?
No.
Jonas! As he screams, Jonas! Thomason says, Father, Father said stop it. Catherine and William both reprimand Thomason. Now we're back. William, stop it. Each of you stop it. Thomason, take the twins inside. And the twins go, no. I love these two twins. They are my favorite.
No.
Mercy and Jacob. I love these little characters because they're carefree. Like, they don't have the duties that these other kids have. They don't have jobs.
They're kids.
They're kids. They're kids being kids. And all through this film, they have big, long switches that are the size of like baseball bats. And they torment this poor, poor creature that we're going to introduce soon. As the twins still fight with one another, it's hilarious to see them misbehave. And now Thomason says, get inside, get inside, get inside. Mom is finally out of her slumber. She's not crying in her bed anymore. Who knows how long it's been? Weeks, maybe a month. And she's out years. She's outside and she's firm. She looks really pissed off. And Catherine, the mother, says, as you like. Mom heads inside, very disturbed. Caleb frantically looks at Mother and says, we went to find apples in the valley. He says valley.
The valley.
In the valley. We went to find apples in the valley. Thought I'd seen an apple tree in the valley. Father brought the gun before if we glanced that wolf. Because now they believe the wolf is what took little Samuel.
Say that again.
Wolf.
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 Wolf. Wolf.
A wolf.
Wolf.
A woof woof. A wee wee. Yeah, a wolf.
Wolf.
A wolf.
Wolf.
Are you fucking with me?
It sounds like you're saying woof.
I am saying wolf. It's
Like
a wolf.
woof, woof.
It's a little wolf.
Like what dogs say. Woof.
Yeah,
It's
a dog's
wolf.
bark fucking stole
There's
a
an
little
L in
kid.
wolf.
There's an L in winter.
You don't have
There's
to
an
get.
L in winter too.
You know what? You don't have to get so bitchy.
You don't have to get so froggy with your earless face. Last week you didn't have eyes. Now you don't have any ears. It is a wolf.
I'm like
It is
Helen
a
Keller.
wolf.
I'm blind and I
It's a
can't.
wolf. I can't what?
I almost just said I'm blind and I can't see.
Blind. I can't see worth the jet. I can't hear worth the jet.
When my eyes are closed, I can't see.
When my eyes wear clothes, I can't see shit. Or I like the thing. It's like your mama's so blind. She's like, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I always like say it.
I see what you're saying. Your mama can't hear what shit's talking about. Say it again. Or your mama can't talk. Fuck it. I don't know. Catherine says to Caleb, why did you not tell me? Caleb, Father wanted to be surprised to cheer you, but there were none. I swear I thought I'd seen him. Mom walks towards Caleb, and I think he's going to get a fucking laceration. Like just a smack across the lips, because she knows he's
Probably.
making this shit up. Mom walks towards
Probably.
Caleb, grabs his face, and leans in. I like you not outside the farm, even to the valley.
The Vala.
The Vala. You're a Vala girl? Are you a Vala girl?
Hell
I
no.
can't date Vala girls. Dost hear me? Caleb nods. Wilf's father still half naked in his back.
And naked.
I said whilst.
Whilst.
I'm on it now. That's not-
Whilst.
Caleb nods. Wilf's father, still half naked in the backdrop, peers on. Like it's contagious. It's contagious.
It is.
William, Caleb, be a good lad. Get some water for thy mother. Caleb, be a good lad and get some water for thy mother. Stray not from the brook. Now this scene is haunting. We hear as we pan around the corner of the cabin, wood being chopped. We're now seeing Father William, chopping. He is shirtless still.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's pantless.
Shirtless, pantless.
He doesn't have an axe. He's chopping wood with wood.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
He has on a towel like you
Like a
would if you
loincloth.
like a loincloth. That would be funny if he's wearing a diaper. He's wearing a towel like you would if you were getting out of the pool or out of the shower or the Vala.
The shower in the Vala.
I don't know what it is. I remember this in the theater. He's chopping wood, showing that aggression, now knowing that Mom's okay. The kids are driving him fucking batshit. He can't find food. Everyone's fucking hungry. When the shirt was taken off, remember Thomason was taking it off and it was just kind of weird.
Yeah, it was
kind of weird. And he's like skin and bones. He's skin and bones. And this was an earlier shot because, oh yeah, I can't tell you that. I think I told you that on the last episode, but I edited it out. So anyway, when he's chopping wood, he's using an axe. He's chopping wood so fiercely that it's turning to splinters. Like you got a log, like a regular log that's the size of like a record, and he's hitting it, and it's not just chopping it in two. It's like exploding. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it seems like every film thus far. I know this is our 3rd and 8th episode, but there's always something wood splintering. Yeah, I don't know if it's just got to be in every movie.
Maybe
Chairs.
We're finding a trend.
We're finding a trend,
that
or maybe
wood splintering is just spooky.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And he's shirtless. He's skin and bones, Skeletor, like Slenderman like, and we are now hit with the ominous music that is so frightening as he chops wood like a demon inside of him. Taking all frustration out, the wood splinters. Thomason is now by the brook and washing father's clothing. Caleb arrives with a bucket of water. Now Caleb, filling the water bucket, looks at his sister as she scrubs the clothing of father's, and the feeling, again, he's checking his sister out.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but it's kind of weird. But he's curious. He's 6th grade. They didn't have that shit back then. He's like 11.
There's nobody else.
Nobody else.
There's not.
And she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. Weird.
He's looking for.
Doesn't make it less.
No,
weird.
no. It's creepy.
It's just you.
He's curious.
It gives context.
He's curious.
It gives
Yes, he's curious. And the camera kind of angles on her loose. The tie, like a drawstring, or like the tie. Okay, yeah, it's like it's loosely. It's kind of it's. Anyway, he's curious, and he's waiting for a nip slip. Thomason looks up, and Caleb's head and eyes look away so fast because he's caught. He's caught, and she senses it. Caleb's a cute kid, but it is her brother.
And also a kid.
She smiles. She says, "Why are you dallying?" Caleb is so embarrassed as Thomason looks on grinning, and I love that part because it's like, it's cute. You got busted looking at, your sister up and down. Thomason, what then? What? Caleb? And then with a splash of water from the brook, Caleb! And Caleb says, stop it. Sister replies, I meant no harm in it. What's the matter with thee? Come hither. Caleb walks over to sit in his sister's lap. Thomason, what's the matter with thee, huh? As she pats his head and rocks back and forth, she whispers, shh. Now Caleb is now where he wants to be, right there in the bosom. Caleb's now being held close to his sister's heart and with a kiss on the forehead and rocking back and forth. Thomason says, I've seen no apples since we went from England. I would the house found them. I so wish for one. And then the cutest thing, Thomason pretends to bite Caleb's head like an apple. So it's, I've seen no apples since we went from London. I would thou hast found them. I so wish for one. And they giggle, and then T starts tickling Caleb. Caleb starts to turn to tickle a sister. You hear leaves crunch.
Yep.
My favorite part. My favorite part.
Nothing can be good for too long.
My favorite part. We hear an intruder approach. They stop Thomason and Caleb and look around. Caleb says, hear that? Thomason, aye. Caleb stands, who's there? And it's the hair. TH air. There.
I be the witch of the wood.
Thomason stands, mercy, come out.
I
I be not Mercy. I be the witch of the wood, and I have come to steal ye.
She rises with a stick between her legs.
Hear me stick a flying through the trees. Clickety clackety, clickety clackety, clickety clackety.
Caleb, Mercy.
Clickety clackety, clickety clackety.
Like, Mercy is my favorite. She's got these big black eyes. And she is a cutie pie in her own little situation scenario, but she's clickety-clacketing around like she's riding a broomstick. This is a hard one. Thomason says, "Why is when thou dost a wrong? I be washing father's clothes like a slave, and thou art playing idle." Mercy.
Because mother hates you.
Damn.
Thomason, "Spoiled child. I'll tell mother you've left the farm alone." Mercy.
Black Phillip says I do what I like.
Thomason, "Devil take your Black Phillip." Mercy, "It's your fault. I can't leave the yard. I could go to the brook before you let the witch take Sam." Like, that's fighting words. That's fighting words. She's
Yeah.
still got the stick between her legs like she's a witch.
Yeah.
Thomason, "Quiet thee." Caleb, "It were a wolf stole Sam." A wolf.
Wolf.
A wolf.
There's an L in there.
A wolf.
Wolf.
"Quiet thee." Caleb, "It were a wolf stole Sam." Mercy,
A witch. I've seen her in her riding cloak about the wood.
they don't say woods. They say wood. I love that.
Yeah.
Caleb,
It's like hospital.
hospitals.
Gotta go to hospital.
Gotta go to the hospital.
Yeah. Take him to hospital.
Take him to the hospital.
Take him to the wood.
Take him to the wood. Abandon his ass out in the wood.
A witch. I've seen her in her riding cloak about the wood.
Caleb, "Father showed me the tracks." Mercy,
It was a witch.
A witch.
A witch.
Thomason, "I."
Her sister was a witch.
Your sister's a witch.
Thomason, "I."
It was a witch, Mercy. You speak aright. It was I.
Caleb, "Thomason." Mercy, "Liar." Thomason says, "'Twas I what stole him."
I be the witch of the wood.
Walking creepily towards Mercy. Mercy is like totally getting frightened.
Liar! Liar!
Thomason, "I am." Caleb, "Listen not to her, Mercy." Thomason replies,
I am the very witch. When I sleep, my spirit slips away from my body and dances naked with the devil.
Thomason twirls her apron as if she's dancing.
That's how I signed his book.
Mercy, black eyes and all, looks horrified, stuttering,
No.
Thomason, "He bade me bring an unbaptized babe, so I stole Sam, and I gave him to my master. And I'll make any man or thing else vanish I like." Mercy, horrified,
No!
Thomason, "Aye, and I'll vanish thee too if thou displeaseth me." I love that word, displeaseth. It was hard to write,
But it's a fun
but
word to say.
it's so hard to say. Displeaseth me.
Displeasing.
Aye, and I'll vanish thee too if you...
Blah.
Aye, and I'll vanish thee too if you...
Fuck. If you fuck. Aye.
Aye, and I'll vanish thee too if thou displeaseth me. Be quiet! Mercy.
No, Caleb.
Mercy, she's but telling fantasies.
Thomason.
Perchance I boil and bake thee since we're lack of food.
Thomason tackles Mercy like T Swift did Travis Kelce. I put a heart, and inside I put a ha. Mercy, no! Caleb, stop, Thomason! Thomason on top of Mercy. Mercy says, "It's not true." Thomason, "It is true how I crave to sink my teeth into thy pink." "It is true how I crave to sink my teeth into thy pink flesh." I'm gonna get that tattooed on my face.
Okay.
Yep, right there, right from ear hole to ear hole. Mercy screams. Thomason, "If ever thou tellest thy mother of this, I'll witch thee and thy mother and Jonas too." Oh, I called him Jacob. You can't have a Jacob and a Caleb. His name's Jonas. Her brother's name's Jonas. Mercy, "Caleb!"
Thomason, stop thy tears, and I swear by silent. Fuck it. I've got multiple personalities. I look up and you're gone. I'm like, Samuel.
I'm like, my ADHD's like TV.
I put it on sports.
Go sport.
Thomason, if ever thou tellest thy mother of this, I'll witch thee and thy mother and Jonas too. Mercy, Caleb. Thomason, stop thy tears and swear by silence. Mercy's, I swear it, I swear it, I swear it. Thomason, you'll not tell mother nor father. 25 minutes in, she grabs Mercy's face. Mm-hmm. And I had an epiphany. Mm-hmm. It's you. 25 minutes in, she looks just like you. So I said, what we have to do. And I was going to take a picture, but I want it to be organic. I'm going to get this really cool kid, Lincoln, who's a photographer, to do a photo shoot of us. I have the perfect place, and we have to dress up like these characters.
Okay.
It's basically just the wrap, like her like little
bonnet.
Like bonnet. But she grabs Mercy's fucking head, and the look on her face with the little grin, I was like, it's Cece. It's Cece. It's crazy. Like I said, I wanted to take a picture, but it wouldn't do it justice. And I was like, I can dress up like a goat or something, you know, something cool. I just wear like a goat costume. I could be on my hind hooves the whole time. I'd just be on my hind hooves. But I've got this really cool band in place that we can have a photo shoot.
Ooh.
I think Saturday nights would be perfect, but time's about to change, and I know your schedule's crazy, but we'll talk about this later. Mondays.
I can see
Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoon, 12 o'clock.
I think we should do a haunting and spooky photo shoot on the Lord's Day.
Oh, God. I like this. That's why I like you so much.
I think we need
to
do
But yeah,
that.
I was like, I even put, I said 25 minutes in, when she grabs the face, it looks like Cece. Mercy, I swear. Thomason. Mercy says, I swear. With Thomason holding Mercy's head like an apple. Caleb says, Thomason, let her alone. Mercy stands startled and runs away, saying, get away from me, get away. Caleb, she'll witch thee, Caleb. Caleb turns to T. As she sits on one knee, Caleb says, why tell Mercy those horrible fantasies? Thomason, dost thou hate me now too? Caleb, it was a wolf stole Sam. There's a 3-second pause. Thomason says, leave me be. Go tell mother and father of my wickedness. Thomason, I hate thee, pity. I need it not. Caleb walks over and out of the scene. Interior, we are now in the house at dinner. This is spooky. 4 syllables. This is just the interior scene. It's that hot tour.
Not hot tour.
She has a podcast called Talk to Her.
Talk to her.
That's good, right? I thought we were clever.
Us clever?
And Baby No Money is on. Anyway, yeah.
I can't.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up at the concert, but I basically asked Young Gravy about the whole Octua, and he answered without me having to question it.
What he said?
Well, I basically was like, "Can you do the sizzler?" And he's got this thing called the Snagglepuss or the Snuffleupagus, where he goes,
yeah.
That's the Hoctua, and then that's his Hoctua, which he calls Hoctois. But I said, "Do that? Can you do that sizzler?" And he's like, "What?" His head turned like a dog, like what? And I said, "You know, the sizzler." And he's like, "That's not the sizzler." And then he kept doing it. And then he said, "Yeah, that Hoctois." Thought that I was wanting to ask her out, and I just invited her to a show. But anyway, I think I talked about this last week.
Probably.
So the interior, this is just fucking electric. The lighting is wild, and again, Robert Eggers filmed late afternoon, so he would have that murky kind of
like
rainy
that,
type.
Yeah,
the lighting is situated perfectly, but it just had that kind of. It's what?
Perfection.
It was so perfect. And this interior shot is great. We're in the house at the dinner table or the supper table, giving thanks. You're behind William. His arms and hands and head is in the shape of a W. So he's basically the shape of a W. This is going to be really tough for me. I'm not going to cry.
Please don't.
Forgive us the day sins we have this day. Fuck you. And forgive us the sins we have this day committed against thee, free from... William's arms and hands are in the shape of a W. The camera's behind him at the supper table. William says in prayer, and forgive us the sins we have this day committed against thee. Free us from the shame and torment which we are due unto us, Father. We beseech thee, increase our faith in the promise of the gospel. The candle is now lit on Thomason as William continues the prayer. Our fear of... God damn it. Hot damn it. Hot to a... Our fear of thy name and the hatred of all of our sins. Now the candle's on Caleb praying that we may be assured that the Holy Spirit dwells in us, that we might be thy children in thy love and mercy. But as we hunger for the food of our bodies, the camera is now lit on Mother praying. So our souls hunger for the food of eternal life. Now it's on the twins, the candle lit, twins are praying. Finish soon our days of sin and bring us to eternal peace through the purifying of thy Son, our Lord. The scene, like the first and last supper. It's a perfect scene. You now have William in the center, POV Catherine from the back of her head. Thomason and Caleb are to the left praying. The twins are to the right praying, and their hands are tight, like they're almost shivering. William making a W again with his head and his arms. He speaks, our Lord and only Savior, Jesus Christ. The candle flickers. Firewood pops in the background, crackling. William says, Amen. And they all say, Amen. And that's part 2 of The Witch. I love this. I love this film. I love this film. I'm 30 minutes deep and I've got all that subject. I know I was captivated by it when I read about it. I was captivated by it while I was watching it. And the craziest thing is when I researched leading up to this, did you know that animals are sometimes, Hollywood animals are sometimes easier to work with than actors?
Yeah.
Like, it's wild to have 50 horses on a set when they filmed a Western back in the 60s or the 50s or the 70s.
Yeah.
It's wild to know that dogs and cats and monkeys and whatever else, chimpanzees or orangutans, like, it's just cool to have animals on the set because a lot of the times they're the most well-behaved. Children, and babies crying, you know.
Yeah.
Egos. But Black Phillip caused terror. Black Phillip the goat caused terror.
Wreaked
on this.
havoc.
I mean, there's scenes where, like in the last episode where they were wrestling with William was wrestling with Black Phillip. Like, beyond getting gored 3 times, they had scenes where he was literally, they couldn't calm him.
That's crazy.
Couldn't calm him, and it basically brought out the fact that this animal is possessed by Satan himself. Like, they couldn't wrangle. Gored.
It's no longer just a part of the story.
Right.
It's like real.
It's real. It's real. It's real. And he's a scary beast. I mean, he's a scary beast.
He's scary looking.
He would hunch up on his hind legs and chase the children. Like, I was really watching closely when the twins are chasing Black Phillip through the farm. Was it superimposed? I can't find anything. If it was like a split, double screen, green screen, whatever. Because when they're playing and they're like how we started this episode 2, part 2 of episode 8, I felt that the kids they weren't even on in the same scene. Like, it was just
like
put
they
in
were like,
because
we cannot let these kids be near this goat.
They're dancing and playing with each other. They've been switching. They've been hitting Black Phillip. They've been singing his song, and when they are playing with each other, all of a sudden Blackfeet gets on his two hind hooves and he kind of marches towards
Yeah.
them. The children scream in utter terror, but they're laughing and giggling and like dancing. So I thought that was super crazy, super cool. But again, the overall film, the mesmerizing film by Robert Eggers, when you have an animal that's uncontrollable on the set, and again, it gored Ralph Ineson 3 times. It's just wild. It's just wild. And the fascination of some of the scariest scenes in horror being in this film, I'm shook. That's the only thing I say. I'm shook.
Shooketh.
I'm shook.
Let's bring it back to being shooketh.
Shooketh. Just beholdeth.
That's how shocking this was.
It was
shot us
shooketh,
all
yeah.
the way back to the era of being shooketh.
But denounced the behemoth, Bahamut, shooketh.
The Bahamut.
The Bahamut. But yeah, I love this
The
film.
Bahamut,
I love
yes.
this film. And now I do believe it's Creepy Connie's Corner. Do you have something spooky?
Well, I kind of already talked about my new spooky obsession, which
Yeah?
has been the Theranos and like these cons and
Yes.
stuff.
It's cool.
I've been really into cons and cults, and they
It's-
kind of play hand in hand, cons
Yeah.
and cults.
Yeah, I know. There's so many subplots
Yes.
to the. There's got to be like our hearts. Our hearts are our metronome, and our brains is the composer. So I've always said, you could be having the worst day ever, but somebody else has had a worser day. Worser?
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 More worst?
More worse.
Worse.
Okay.
I don't know.
Worst is your sauce.
What?
Because I have a lot of angst. I don't have a lot of anger, but I'm working on it.
Angst?
Well, just I was driving 4 hours a day with Lotus's old school.
Yeah.
So now I drive 15 minutes, and it's like awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So I see people driving 35 and a 55, and I drive by them and they've got their phone out. I see people like not paying attention. They swerve into my lane. It's like I'm almost defensive,
No, you have to be a defensive shot.
And especially today, it was raining like crazy. It's going to be even worse tomorrow. They canceled school.
Oh yeah, no. A lot
They
of
canceled school because of Helena.
yeah. I don't know.
I just wanted to read this little spot here. One of the scariest, craziest stories. It's short and sweet, but it's of the USS Hornet. So the USS Hornet and her crew served in World War II and in the Vietnam War, achieving numerous awards for service and operations.
I know this boat.
You know this boat.
Yes.
She also was the prime recovery ship for the Apollo 11 and Apollo 12 missions.
Yes.
During her active years, about 300 crew members died from accidents and suicides. Visitors to the ship's permanent location in San Francisco report hearing voices and seeing apparitions of soldiers. Electronic equipment is also known to go haywire on board. Now the host of Ghost Tours, the USS Hornet, holds the title of the most haunted ship in America. The most haunted ship in America. Like, when I was in the Navy, there was I was in San Diego.
Okay.
And I was going to Yokosuka, Japan, and I was a radioman. And right before I graduated, the radioman billet job merged with the ITs, the intelligent techs. So they said this merger is going to happen within the next year or so. By the time you get to your 4-year tenure, the radiomen, they're going to be obsolete. Yep. So that first 4 to 8 years that you're in, you're not even doing your job. You're doing shit work.
Yeah, you're doing the BS.
Yes. So I am now going to Norfolk, Virginia instead of Japan. And I grew up in
Ew.
Charlotte. So no, that's not happening. I'm not doing that.
Norfolk,
so I stayed in San
Virginia,
Diego. Yeah, it's
grody.
crazy. So I said, you know what? I'll stay in San Diego and I'll work with the, as we call us, the civilians. So I stayed in San Diego. And when I was in San Diego, people that were getting out of the Navy, whether it was mental reasonings, whether it was physical reasons, whether it was when you do something bad, disciplinary reasonings. If you smoked pot, if you said you were gay, or if you tried to commit suicide. That was what kind of made up for
Which
this
is kind
exit.
of wild. They're like, oh, you want to end your own life? Let's just get rid of your job as well.
Yeah, let's get rid of your job. You're out of here.
Let's just make things worse for you.
Yes. So I remember this kid jumping out of a 4-story building to kill himself, and all he did was he broke his leg like really bad, and he was immediately sent home.
Well, at least he
and
survived.
we all in transit had nightmares about that. It was wild. It was wild. So right before I came home, and right before I started cosmetology school, I was at a restaurant with a friend, and this old man came up to me. He was dressed like a cowboy. It was really funny. He came up to me, and he came up specifically to me, and he said, I want to thank you for serving in the Navy. And I said, excuse me?
Like, how do you know that?
How did you know that? And he says, oh, we know. He had his little hat on. He had his little, his little,
Cowboy?
a little cowboy hat on. Has a little cowboy hat on. And I was like, this guy's fucking with me, or somebody's put me up to something. So, I mean, I was
what
about to
the
start
hell?
cosmetology school, and I hadn't been back in Charlotte long, but I was with a friend that I hadn't seen forever. So we're having
Ketchup.
we're having catch up. And he says, no, I'm serious. I want to thank you for your service. And I said, and you were in the Navy? He said, yes. He said, I was on the USS Hornet. And that was wild to me that he picked me out. Like, how did he know? Like, that was the whole
Yeah.
thing. How did he know? And that was 1998.
I wasn't alive.
That was 2098. Sucker. Wolf. Wolf. Well. Constance.
do that like
Creepy
that?
Cece's a wolf.
Why'd you do yes.
Well, yeah. So he was on the USS Hornet, so I thought that was crazy. I
Maybe
thought it was crazy.
being on the USS Hornet gave him psychic abilities.
That's what I'm thinking, because it was just so wild.
Maybe he had some interaction with the other side, and now he has kind of like this sixth sense.
Well, I mean,
for
now he's
certain
probably
things.
not. His sixth sense is probably 6 feet under. That was 1998.
And he was
haven't
kind of
been-
like old.
I mean, he was
when
in
he
World
said
War
that-
II.
Oh, yeah. So he might be dead.
If he was in World War II,
How many? There can only be so many World War II survivors.
I don't think there's
left.
any more. I think the last one died.
I'm pretty sure I remember hearing the last
I think
one died.
I think the last one
Like
died.
I remember that making headlines.
But thank you, anyone and everyone listening.
Yes, thank you
that
for service.
Served, that's serving. You protect us.
Family
with your
of
family of the
members
service.
My best friend, her dad has a crazy story.
Oh, I bet.
20 years in the Marines. He was a master sergeant.
Wow.
He flew in one of the helicopter squadrons for Obama.
Wow.
He was a SEER school instructor, and the SEER school is where they teach you how to be a prisoner of war.
Oh God.
And so, like, how to survive torture and, like,
Jeez.
waterboarding and, like,
Jeez.
yeah. And, like, but, like, I've known her since 6th grade. And so I have seen her when he's been deployed. It takes a toll on the family, too.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like,
I mean, it's the
it's-
not knowing.
Yeah.
The not knowing. Well, that was cool.
been
That
in
was
and
cool.
around.
So that added on to yours. I'll get all that situated. Well, again, we thank you from all over. We're in 5 countries. We've hit all the states, like I had said. Thank you, Texas A&M. You guys rock. Go Aggies.
Go Aggies.
And keep sharing. And we will keep it spooky.
I love being an October baby.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Lotus was going to be a Halloween baby, but she's November 7th, so she's 1 week out. So we celebrate Halloween. We get to celebrate Halloween.
She's a
because
Thanksgiving baby.
Halloween to her birthday is when they like start marking everything down. You know, it's like, get this animatronic. That's $700 for $12.
Yeah.
So October 10th is your birthday. So yeah, we're going to celebrate that. Is it a
Yeah.
weekday?
It is. It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
But the weekend after, I have fall break. So
Oh,
I don't
hell
have
yeah.
class the Monday or Tuesday after my birthday.
All right, and then that
So-
Sunday we can party.
Yeah, that's what I was
That'll be
thinking.
awesome.
So I was going to talk to the work squad
All right, yeah, that'd be cool.
about going to like Snug or
That'd
something.
be awesome. Yeah, you'll get up there and sing "Stand by Your Man."
No, I need to sing like a birthday song. I need a good karaoke song. Like a really good karaoke song.
like a cop cow. I don't know where that came from. That's Lil Wayne.
I don't think I could do Lil Wayne.
You can't do that wee wee. Oh, I know what you can do. You can do 18 naked cowboys in the. Do you know that song?
No.
You sing your song, girl.
I don't know what I'm going to sing.
I don't know. You got time to think about it. But hey, creepies, we love you. You guys
We
are
love you,
awesome.
creepies.
Patreon's on its way. We're on all social medias. TikTok's blowing up. Instagram's blowing
The
up.
Tic-Tac.
We are totally getting down with spooky season.
Yes.
30 days till Halloween. We love you. Keep your sweater vest handy because the chill factor is right around the corner. I don't know where that came from, but it sounds groovy. We love you. This is Creepy Connie.
And this is King Jeremy the Wicked.
Goodbye. Like a conny cow.
You've been
Like a
listening
clown
to
car.
Revival, a horror podcast starring Jeremy the Wicked and Creepy Connor.